Good morning to one and all. Myself Safat, and in this session we will discuss something on this predictive analytics. In the last sessions we had discussed about data analytics, web analytics, the types of data analytics. We have seen the big data technologies, the characteristics of big data. All those things have been discussed so far. Now today's session we will discuss something on one of the analytical tools of data analytics, that is predictive analytics. What is predictive analytics? That we will see. We will also see certain business applications of predictive analytics, and also certain analytical tools that are available in the market for this predictive analytics. We will see. First of all, we will look on what is happening in the internet. As we know that each and everyone is browsing the web. In olden days, we used to, if we want something to search, we will go to library, we will look the reference book, and we will quote something and all. But now the trend has been changed. Now many are almost 90% of the population is being using the internet for their day-to-day activities, even each and every activities. Even now the online classes is being, or most of the education institutions are being using the internet facilities for the same. As we know, the social networking sites, financial institutions, educational sector, traditional activities, day-to-day activities, all those things are having in the internet. So these are the things that is happening in every 60 seconds. That means almost in 1 minute, this many things are happening in the web. Okay, then we have also these are the things that is happening in the web. Now we will go to our topic. What is actually predictive analytics? Why I have shown this slide? Because the usage of data, that means large amount of data is being pumping day by day from different sources. We have seen last day how many trunks and petabytes of data is being pumped by social networking sites, banking transactions, and we have seen also the New York Stock Exchange. They are pumping actually zettabytes of data per day. They are pumping out this much data. All the data is being handled by either by the data technology, that's big data, either by the big data technologies, and we are inferring certain knowledges from the data. This is what is happening in web analytics as well as also in data analytics also. Now we will see what is predictive analytics. It is actually one of the tools that is being used in data analytics. It is what is actually predictive analytics. What is the meaning of prediction? Prediction is what is actually. Prediction means we are predicting something. We are interpreting something. This is what is going to happen. Suppose if I am predicting that in the month of June or July there will be rain. It's actually a prediction. Suppose if I am predicting telling the same thing in the month of April, that I am predicting that by the end of the June the monsoon will come. It's actually a prediction. Or if I am hoping that by the end of this December the novel coronavirus it will vanish on the entire world. It's actually a prediction. So predictive analytics is actually a prediction. We are predicting something, but the difference is that we are not predicting simply. Just we are not what to say. We are not simply telling it without with the solid proof. We are actually predicting something. The prediction is depends actually relates on certain technologies, certain tools are being used for our prediction. Rather, we are not just mocking something on that. This will happen the next day. That's not what is predictive analytics means. Because our predictions or whatever we are telling, all the things that we are telling in the predictive analytics, it is actually based upon certain algorithms as being used, certain techniques will be used. From certain detailed studies only we will infer something, or we will pop out something that this is going to happen in the coming year. So a detailed study is required in the field of predictive analytics. Now it's actually an emerging technology in the modern era. That predictive analytics has very much loads and loads of scopes are there in this field. So we will see what is actually predictive analytics means. The definition of predictive analytics is actually the extraction of insights. Insights means the knowledge, extraction of knowledge from the existing data set. As we know that in the field of data analytics, what is our input to the system? The input to the system is actually a collection of data. The data can be either structured data, unstructured data, or semi-structured data. We will extract certain knowledge from the data. How we are extracting the knowledge from the data? We will use certain data mining techniques. We will use certain modeling, statistical modeling will be used, and also we will use certain machine learning techniques. We are using these techniques to predict something from the data, from the existing or unknown. From the existing data, we are predicting something, and why we are predicting something? We will predict something that we will predict about certain unknown events or unobserved events. This is what is actually happening in the predictive analytics. And also we are identifying actually a cause-effect relationship. A relationship is being identified from the historical data. Suppose if I am taking in the case of the education institution, suppose if I am taking, for example, if I am taking the data of 10 years data, so how many students have been attended the certain course, say BSc or BCA, how many students have attended the course and how many have passed the examination. This is actually the historical data, and from the historical data, from the existing data, I am predicting something by the year of 2025 or 2024. This many students will join my course. This is actually my prediction. What is the input? I have certain data from the past historical data. I have from the historical data, I have read out certain techniques. I have used certain data mining techniques and all. From the techniques, I have inferred a knowledge, and with that knowledge, I am predicting that this is going to happen in the coming years. So we are actually discovering certain patterns or knowledges with the help of data mining techniques. This is actually predictive analytical means. And also the observed patterns, the observed predictions can be used even to the not only to the future data, we can also use the observed patterns to the past, and also the present data also we can use the existing knowledge. Suppose if I am how I have taken in the case of corona also, for COVID-19, suppose if I am taking the epidemic crisis that have happened in the year between the year 1980 to 1990, I have taken certain data. Then I have taken another year 1990 to 2000, and I have taken another study with the 2000 to 2010. So I have the 30 years data is with me. With the existing data, I am going to study what is difference between the existing pandemic crisis and the what was happened in the future or in the history what had happened. With that knowledge, I am predicting something. Suppose I am predicting that by 2030 another epidemic crisis will reach the world. This is actually happening in the predictive analytics. So it's all about the prediction. Actually, the entire process is actually a prediction. So this is a predictive analytical process cycle. A small cycle is there for the process. As per they say, the process cycle consists of, we will define certain objectives. We have the certain objectives to first. We need to define certain objectives. With the objective, with respect to the objective, I will prepare the data. From the existing data, I will prepare with respect to the objectives. I will prepare my data. I will actually create a model. We will develop a model for the same thing, and we will deploy the model. And finally, we will monitor the model, how the model is going to act. This is actually happening in the predictive analytics. These are the processes that is happening in the predictive analytics. Almost we have 5 processes is being happening. First, we have defined certain objectives. So this is going to happen. This is what I require is the number of students or number of what is having to happen in the next year or in the future year. This is my objective. With respect to the objective, I will prepare the data. What from which data I am preparing? From the historical data, or I have a collection of data where the data can be in different forms. I will from the existing data, I am preparing certain knowledges with respect to my objective. I will prepare a model. The prepared model is deployed to the system, and we will monitor how the model is going to work, or we will monitor the model, and finally this is happening in the predictive analytical process. So these are some of the predictive methods. We know that for the prediction and all, for the proposed system to work, there are certain methods and all. These are some of the common methods that is being used in the predictive analytics. First, we have namely a regression model is there. Regression is actually, in simple words, we can say that is actually prediction of output variable. Using a cause-effect relationship, we will extract certain relationship with the input variables. We have certain input variables with me. From the input variables, I am predicting something. From the input variable, I am processing something, and I am trying to fetch out certain hidden patterns and all, and I am predicting this will be the output variable. Some of the ANN is actually artificial neural network, random forest. These are some of the regression methods that is being used, commonly used regression methods. Then we have a classification also. Classification is actually prediction of a item class, that we are predicting something. We will classify it into a certain class. Suppose if I am classifying a group of people with respect to age and weight. I have studied something that from 100 students I have taken, and I have I have inferred a model that this will be with respect to the height, this will be the age. Certain study has been taken. From then I will classify the students based on their height or weight, and I am predicting when a new student comes, I will predict this will be the weight of the student. Suppose the weight is 20. Here the model will predict that the weight of the student, the newly student to the sample, will be 150 or 100 or 75. This is actually happening in the classification model. For the classification method, we have certain decision trees are there. KNN can be used. Neighbors is another classifier, and logistical regression is also. These are all certain classification models and all. Then we have a time series forecasting. Time series forecasting is actually we are predicting the future time events, given the past history. We will given certain historical data, and we will predict this thing will happen in the future. And for the same thing, we have certain fault windows. These are some of the methods that are being used, exponential smoothing and all. Then we have an association rule mining also. It means mining of data. Mining, what is actually mining of data? Mining is actually drilling of data. We will drill the data. We are drilling means we are inferring certain patterns or finding certain pattern from the data is actually termed as mining. And we have an algorithm, is a priori algorithm that we will see in the data warehouse and all. In the data mining paper, this algorithm is being mentioned. This is, then we have a clustering also. Clustering is actually we will cluster the data. That means it's actually a classification. After classification, a group of clusters is being used. The items with similar characteristics. We have, suppose if we have a group of data, and suppose we have 100 data are there, then the data with common characteristics will be clustered into a certain group. That is mainly known as clustering. For the clustering process, we have different algorithms are there. K-means algorithm is there. Then we have hierarchical algorithm. These are certain clustering algorithms. Then we have text mining. Text mining is actually the mining of data. Textual data is being mined, and we will infer useful information from the same thing. We have sentiment analysis or NLP. NLP is actually natural language processing. These are some of the text mining methods and all. Then we will evaluate the predictive models. Suppose we have how to evaluate a model. We have developed a model, as we have seen in the process that we will develop a model. The developed model will be deployed to the system. Then we will evaluate how my model is going to work, whether my model is efficient or not. For the same thing, we have different evaluation measures are there. Some of the things are hit rate. We can prepare a gain chart or live chart, KS chart. These are some confusion metrics can be developed for the assessment of the model. What is a model assessment? Model assessment means how my model, I have developed a certain model, whether my model is working. Suppose I have developed a model and I have deployed the same thing, and my efficiency of the model is only 60%, and some another have developed the same model and their efficiency is 85. That means that my model is not good, because my efficiency of the model, or when I assess the model, the error rate is only 65. That means my proposed model or my developed model is not so good. This is what we are evaluating from the predictive models. We can determine the score can be generated, the population ratio, the specificity or the sensitivity of the data. All the things can be evaluated using this KS chart, Gini coefficient, hit rate. These are certain assessment methods and all to evaluate the predictive model. Then these are some of the business applications of predictive analytics. The proposed system is being used everywhere. In healthcare, the predictive analytical can be used, and in manufacturing industries, telecom, all where, anywhere the proposed model can be implemented. In financial institutions, most of the financial institutions is being used in this predictive analyticals. Then renewable energy sources, telecom communication, traffic control. Yeah, the proposed system had immense application. Then we have supply chain. In the supply chain also, logistical departments and all, we can use the proposed predictive analytical model to optimize the chain flow, to reduce the inventory, how to minimize the cost. Is Amazon all been using this supply chain management? They are using the predictive analytics. What will happen in the next year, or what is going to happen? All those things will be evaluated using the predictive analytical model. Then we can, customer profiling is actually the classification of high valued customers. Suppose if I have a organization with me and I want to classify how many high value customers are there, or how many customers are good, or how to retain their loyalty. All those things can be achieved using the predictive analytical tool. Then we can increase the pricing also. We can identify the optimal price. Suppose if I have developed a certain item, what price should I need to sell the product to achieve maximum profit. All those things can be used in these predictive analytical tools. The human resources, how to in recruitment and all, in companies mostly uses predictive analytical. If suppose if I hire this much qualified students, what is going to happen, or what I will get from them, all those things. And also the employee churn retention. We have discussed about the same employee churn retention in the last classes. And we have the proposed methodology. That means the predictive analytical had immense application in the field of the renewable energy also. we can forecast the electricity pricing bills. We can forecast how much the people, or how in a country how many people will consume, what would be their electricity consumption in the coming years. With that, we can predict the same thing using the proposed methodology. And also the operational cost minimization, we can find any alternative sources. All those things can be implemented using the analytical tools. In the financial services also, we can approve the approval of credit cards and loan applications. So we can classify the customers based on the credit. In India, we are using the CIBIL score to classify or to score the customers. Only the customers with a minimum threshold value, that means a CIBIL score in India, in the CIBIL score with value 350 to 900. This is a range that is have technologies in India to score the customers for their loan applications and all those things can be implemented using the predictive analytical tools. And also e-commerce sites, as we have seen last day, that Amazon all are using the predictive analytical tools to increase the transaction size, and also to achieve their organization's goals or objectives. They are using the predictive analytical tools. And also the CRM, that means the customer relationship management, can also be enhanced, or we can maximize the campaign responses also using the predictive analytical tools. For a organization, they can determine how much or how many customers they can attract in the coming years, or what is the requirement for the customers, or on which product the customers are mostly liked. All those things can be inferred from the predictive analytical tools. Then we can the product quality control. So this is an important technology, an important field in the case of predictive analytical tools. We can detect the quality issues, what is happening, and we can also detect the whether any default items is being defective parts. All those things can be analyzed, or what is the maintenance required for a particular product. If I'm using this product, what will be the recurring expenses? Is there any recurring expenses? All those things can be enhanced or can be studied using the inferred from the predictive analytical tools. And also the revenue performance also, we can identify the various methods through which we can generate the fund, or the revenue can be optimized, or how much, what are the expenses, we can minimize the expenses also. And also the fraud and crime detection, that is very important, that we can detect the criminal activities or fraudulent activities, or any tax defaulters, or the any credit card frauds. All those things can be easily enhanced using the predictive analytical tools, rather than using a human being, because if a human being is being used to detect all those things, it requires large amounts of money, as well as a large amount of time is required to detect in order to get a final output. Using the predictive analytical tools, we can detect all the fraudulent activities within a couple of seconds. Last day we have seen that Singapore UOB Bank is being using the predictive analytical tools to detect their fraudulent activities and all. And also this is an important field which had a great application recent days also, healthcare. That means the recent time also, the Common Spirit Health, they have developed a using the predictive analytical method, they have prepared for the COVID-19 surges and all. That means the COVID-19, how the infectious or epidemic is going, is affecting the people. All the studies is being conducted by the Common Spirit Health. So the predictive analytical method had a very immense application in the field of healthcare also. And also they can identify a particular disease, or how the disease is being acting on a patient based on the health conditions, whether the patient is more prone to certain disease and all. All the things can be inferred using the predictive analytical method. Then these are some of the common analytical tools that is available in the market. MATLAB is one of the popular mathematical tool that can be used for the predictive analyticals. Then we have the Python. Python is using the Anaconda library for using the predictive analytical. Then the R programming language is very statistical methods and all. They can use the R programming language. Then Veka is there. Then we have Mahout. These are some of the popular predictive analytical tools that are available in the market. Out of which the MATLAB and R programming is easy, and R also can be used for statistical methods, deployment methods and all. Then we have IBM is there, IBM SPSS is there, SAS is there, RapidMiner. All these are the available predictive analytical tools, which out of which most of the things are open sources, can be deployed in our system also. Then these are some of the industries using the predictive analytics today. We have the Bank of America. Mainly the financial institutions is being using the predictive analytical tools in order to enhance the customers, or whether to reject or approve their loans. As we have seen last day, that during the crisis and all, during the world recession time, most of the banks in America had suffered a heavy loss. So after the world recession, they have they have concentrated more on this predictive analytical technologies to classify the customers, and they will provide or approve the loan only to feasible customers only to soundful customers and all. They will provide the loans, and the predictive analytical tools they are mainly using the Bank of America had, or the Commonwealth Bank. All these things, all those banks or financial institutions are using the predictive analytical tools to personalize the services or for the customers. Then we have the Ubank is there. Ubank is actually comparing the spending time of the different types of peoples, how the customers are spending the money, or how they are with the revenue, what they are doing. All those things is being studied by the Ubank. Then we have Affirm is there. Affirm is also classifying the customer's account, whether the customer is having a GitHub account and all. They will decide for the loan approval only to the feasible customers only. They will approve the loan. If a customer is found fraudulent and all, they won't approve the loan. The loan will be rejected for those customers. Then we have the SS Finance is there. SS Finance is actually defaulting rate. They are reducing the number of defaultees in the loans and all. They will track the customer activities, how hard the borrower is doing. Or suppose if a person had borrowed certain money or loan from the bank, they will track the smartphone activities or the social networking sites, what is happening with the customer and whether the customer will be a defaultee, and they will only approve the loans, or they will what to say, they will try to classify, they will provide only loans to the good soundful customers only. They will provide the loan. Then we have the Alfair also. Alfair is also using the same predictive analytical technology to classify the customers. These are some of the banking institutions that are mainly using the predictive analytics today. So, so far we have discussed about what is actually predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is nothing but a prediction is actually taking place. How the prediction is taking place using the different big data technologies or statistical technologies or data mining or machine learning techniques. We are actually predicting the data. We are inferring the knowledge from the available data. We had certain historical data is with us. From the historical data, we are inferring certain knowledges. This is actually happening in all the fields. We can implement the same methodology. The predictive analytical had immense application. We have seen the banking, financial institutions, or e-commerce sites everywhere, even in healthcare also. Recently, the Common Spirit Health have developed the predictive analytical technology to prepare how to prepare for COVID-19. They have studied and they have found almost 80% studies has been completed. From the input data, they found it that using the predictive analytical technology, we can even develop a vaccine. Also, they are on the way for the preparing or finding out a medicine also for the vaccine. Same thing. So predictive analytical technology had immense application in the field of data analytics, and it is one of the commonly used analytical tools or emerging technologies actually to classify or what will happen in the future. We are not just predicting something with the detailed information or with proper studies only. We are predicting something, and with the efficiency of the model had very impact also. Almost many predictive analytical technology developed models had efficiencies ranges from 70 to 85%. That means with how a human being can predict something with more accuracy, using the predictive analytical technology, the proposed model or the developed model can predict something. So this is our today's session.